Hello, darlings. It's Natalie from Light of Ascension Tarot. Welcome to your reading. And today's reading is on September 6th, 2021. This is for the new moon in Virgo. The new moon in Virgo happens today at 7:52 p.m. Central Time and 5:52 or 5:51 p.m. You can see some people say 5:51, some say 5:52. You get it. Almost 6 p.m. Pacific time, and then almost 9 p.m. for Eastern time. Okay, so it's during the evening that we're going to be experiencing this new moon, at least for those of us in the US of A. If you're in Australia, or I know some people watch me that are in different places, and then your new moon is going to be on September 7th. Okay, so yeah, because you guys are in the future already. For us in the United States, today is also Labor Day, and the name of this video is called The New Moon in Virgo, Chop Wood, Carry Water. And I'm going to go ahead and put up the astrology chart for the new moon, and we're just going to talk about it for a few minutes. And I'm going to give you guys an intro to the reading, and then we're going to go into the piles. If you want to go directly to the tarot readings for your new moon, you can go to the timestamps below. And for those of you that would like to hear a little bit more about the astrology of this new moon in Virgo and what I've been seeing and noticing, you can stick with me here for the intro. So, as I said, the video is called Chop Wood, Carry Water, and that is from an old Zen Buddhist saying. And the old saying goes, you know, what do you do before enlightenment? Chop wood, carry water. And what do you do after enlightenment? Chop wood, carry water. Okay. And there's been a couple books written called Chop Wood, Carry Water. I think I first heard this statement when I was a teenager, maybe. I didn't have a lot of exposure to like Buddhism or anything when I was a teenager. I wish I would have. That would have been amazing. But I think I first heard that when I was a teenager, and it just rang so true. And it's so true for Virgo energy anyway. And, you know, for Virgo energy, we want to fall in love with the process or fall in love with what we're doing, right? And it can be as simple as sweeping the floor, mopping the floor. So this morning I got up at 7 a.m. I watched the sunrise, I cleaned my place from top to bottom, and yeah, and I took my dog on a beautiful walk. And to me, like that whole thing of like vacuuming and sweeping and dusting and mopping, no matter how enlightened we are, we gotta clean the toilets and wash the shower curtain, right? Chop wood, carry water. And you know, the guy that wrote a book called Chop Wood, Carry Water, he also wrote a book called Pound the Stone, which I thought was funny too, because that's so Taurus to me. And if you can see the chart, basically the astrology chart here, and I have it right next to me on my iPad, but I'm going to show it to you on the screen as well so you can follow along. Actually, I think I already put it up there. As I say that right now, I'm going to go back and insert it and make sure it's up there before now, okay? But as we say, you know, chop wood, carry water, and or pound the stone, you know, sit there and pound the stone. It makes me think of the 8 of Pentacles in the tarot, which is the Sun in Virgo card, okay? And right now the Sun is in Virgo. The Sun is conjunction the new moon. Whenever we have a new moon, the Sun and moon meet together and are conjoined. And so, yeah, pound the stone. To me, that's a very much an 8 of Pentacles. You sit there chipping away at something. It's also, you know, to me, a very Taurus image as well. You know, sitting there and pounding the stone, like very patiently, waiting for something to change form, waiting for things to transform and change. And it just happens with this new moon that this new moon is trine Uranus at 14 degrees Taurus. So this moon is at 14 degrees Virgo, and Uranus is currently sitting at 14 degrees Taurus. So the two are making a trine aspect to one another, and it is exact. It is exactly exact, which makes it a very powerful aspect for this full moon. So we have Uranus helping us to do the work when it comes to, you know, Virgo energy, and Uranus is also elevating it to, you know, a higher perspective too, because we can pound the stone, chop wood, carry water. But, you know, are we doing it like, you know, how are we doing it? Are we doing it with a sense of reverence? Are we resenting it? You know, also, is there better ways to do things? Can we innovate things? Can we make things more achievable, especially with Uranus and Taurus, Taurus being so much about, you know, achievement and what we can create. So, and doing it in a new way, right? So Uranus stepping in on this new moon to help elevate the discussion, to help bring this change agent into the equation, okay? And one thing you can do with astrology too is you can look at the Sabian symbols for each degree of each sign. So the moon is full, or the moon is a new moon at 14 degrees Virgo. And if you look at the Sabian symbol for 14 degrees Virgo, the Sabian symbol is a family tree, okay? And the family tree, talking about ancestors, talking about support from our ancestors. With a trine from Uranus, though, the whole family tree is, you know, it's like the trees are getting shaken a little bit, but, you know, in a good way, in the sense that, are we going to do the same things the same way that our ancestors did time and time and time again? No. But does their blood flow through our veins? Yes, it does. Are we influenced? Can we be open to our ancestors? Yes, we can. But are we here to change and grow and evolve? Yes, we are. Okay. So some of these things about, you know, doing things the same way all the time, I do think, you know, this new moon in Virgo is a good time to switch up your routine. So last night I went to bed super early, and then I woke up this morning to see the sunrise, and just that kind of change in routine helped me to start my day in a better way. Okay. So some changes in routines might be really supported right now. And another thing that I wanted to mention was Uranus at 14 degrees Taurus. So the Sabian symbol for Uranus at 14 degrees Taurus is shellfish groping and children playing. Which is interesting. It makes me laugh when I think about that. How does like a clam, for instance, like grope other clams, okay? And as I was looking up, you know, clams, I was looking up animal totems. If you have a clam as an animal totem, right? And we have those sayings like happy as a clam, you know, children playing, happy as a clam, right? Or clamming up, when we like go within and we don't want to share anything and we kind of have to pull things out of people, right? One thing I found out is clams, you know, are like 510 million years old on this planet. And some clams can live up to 500 years of age, you know? So clams are it's very like ancient shellfish, crustaceans living in the ocean, mostly living in salt water. And yeah, so the symbol for Uranus at 14 degrees Taurus is talking about preserving the lower orders, like shellfish. You know, you would say they're like very low, they're in the ocean, they've been around for a long time. You know, they're very beautiful, like clams produce pearls, all of that. But at the same time, that's kind of preserving the lower orders. Something's been around for 510 million years, right? Versus facilitating the progressive development of higher orders, okay? So we're looking at kind of that energy of the 10 of Pentacles and the 8 of Pentacles, and let's throw like a Uranus card in there, like the Fool, okay? So that's kind of what this energy is about. We also have Neptune in the mix, which is forming a wide opposition to the moon as well. The moon is applying to Neptune. It's about a 7-degree orb there. But the moon opposite Neptune, you know, anytime we have like the sun's in Virgo, the moon's in Virgo, Mars is still in Virgo. We have a grand trine, you know, carrying over from the full moon that we had in Aquarius a couple weeks ago. And so when you throw Neptune in the mix, everything gets a little bit spacey, a little bit more creative. It gets more challenging in some ways to differentiate and individuate and to separate our emotions and do the work of Virgo, right? But at the same time, there's something really deep, I think, in all of us right now that is hopefully waking up and, that is wanting to share and to open up more and share with others, okay? And the Sabian symbol for the moon, or for Neptune at 21 Pisces, or Pisces 21, is a little white lamb. So talking about, our innocence and our wonder, and, with Uranus at 14 Taurus, children playing, right? So, there is some fun and freedom as well here too, with Uranus in the mix and Neptune in the mix. So I hope that you guys enjoyed that. Of course, new moons in general are a time, for planting and not harvesting quite yet, but for planting the seed, kind of like the Ace of Pentacles. And we can talk about it as planting the seed for the next 6 months because, we have the new moon in Virgo, and in Pisces season coming up in March, we'll have the full moon in Virgo. So everything we do now, basically as like a planting season. But I also think, this new moon in Virgo, because Virgo is a time of harvest, there is some harvesting going on right now as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed that discussion of the astrology. And as we always say, what do we do before enlightenment? We chop wood and carry water. And what do we do after enlightenment? Chop wood, carry water, or pound the stone. 8 of Pentacles, right? All day, every day, pounding the stone. Pounding the stone of life. All right. So let's go ahead and get into the piles. We have 3 different piles to choose from for the readings today. And we're going to look at how you can work with this new moon in Virgo energy and what this new moon is helping to facilitate for you in your life right now. For pile number 1, we have the Rainbow Aura Quartz. If you're interested in pile number 1, you'll choose the Rainbow Aura Quartz. If you're interested in the Amethyst, or pile number 2, you'll go ahead and choose pile number 2. And if you're interested in the Sugilite Alien Head, this is a cool crystal that's been carved like an alien head, you will choose pile number 3, okay? So let's go ahead and get into the piles, and you can go to my description box below directly to look at your description, or to look at your description, to look at your timestamp, all right? The description box below will have your timestamps. So let's go ahead and get into the energy. Let's welcome Spirit in, please, and thank you. Let's clear the air. It's a beautiful day to clear the air with the new moon in Virgo. Also, happy Labor Day, everybody. Let's go ahead and get into it. Pile number 1, welcome to your reading. You chose the Rainbow Aura Quartz, and today's reading is a new moon in Virgo reading, and I just did a little intro on the astrology if you're interested to hear more about this new moon and what it means for you. But we're going to get deeper into the energy with the tarot here, and we're going to do our spiritual work. We're going to chop wood and carry water like we always do, and we always have, and always will. All right, pile number 1. Spirits, angels, and guides, please ground our energy, help our spirits soar while you ground our feet on the ground firmly. Spirits are soaring, and we're taking flight for my pile number 1s. All right, let's do it, pile number 1. Let's see how this new moon in Virgo is assisting you at this time, okay? Let's see it. We have curiosity. All right, well, that's something, Virgo is a sign that's associated with Mercury, and Mercury is all about that curiosity. And in Virgo, it's about like, how do things work? Like, how does this work? How does this life work? How do I put this together? How do I take this apart? The frequency of curiosity supports our intrinsic inquisitive nature, which is one of the necessary driving forces behind any growth and evolution, right? Those moments where we ask, why is it this way? Why does this work? Why does this not work, right? So if you're curious, you're on the right path. You are working this Virgo energy really well, and it's, you know, it's subliminal, I feel, in a way, pile number one. Sometimes just in the sense that we don't even know, like, what we don't even know sometimes what we're searching for, especially with this this new moon is widely opposing Neptune. You know, sometimes we don't know why we're like searching or curious, right? But I feel this for you. I also feel the mountains, like the rainbow mountains here with this rainbow aura quartz. We have strength. Okay, so some holdovers from Leo season, right? The lessons that you learned from Leo season, and now you're applying these thoughts and ideas and seeing, like, does this work, right? Does this actually work for my life? You know, does this way of thinking, does this way of being, does it actually support me? Okay. And we have the moon, right? So if you feel like, you know, I should be happier, I should be more settled, or I should be better off these days, right? And these are two major arcana cards. So there is some deep processes going on within you right now, pile number one. And if you're thinking like, I overcame that a long time ago, or I put that behind me a long time ago, like, why does this keep coming up for me, right? And, you know, I'm also getting the words wild and free, because the moon is like where we're wild and free, and strength is where it's great, but it also might be where we're putting the lid on it. We're saying, you know, no, we need to be, you know, more controlled than that. We need to be better than that, right? Than to sink kind of into our lower nature. All right. And I can tell you've worked really hard, pile number one, to be strong and determined in your actions and in your thoughts, right? But if you find yourself getting pulled back again into old patterns of thinking or deep wells of sadness or despair, you know, with the moon, get curious about it. Why is this happening? Or why do I feel this way? Not as a way to beat yourself over the head with a frying pan, but as a way to go, well, that's interesting, right? If we can take a step back from our emotions and go, well, that's interesting. Why did I try to control that? Or why did I try to push that away? Obsessiveness. Okay, so this new moon is helping to free you from obsessing about the things that you can't control. Okay, and there may be a person that you feel obsessive towards right now, or situations where you feel, and you're trying to harness that. You're trying to understand, why do you feel obsessed about something? Because I get the sense that you're normally not that way, pile number one, but for whatever reason, there may be something in your life right now that's giving you feelings of obsession. Okay, write down what you are obsessing over. Realize that it is emotionally draining you. All right, I think on the outside, you might be trying to control this, but on the inside, you feel obsessed about something or a person or a thing or an idea or a place, and, you know, realize that it's kind of emotionally draining you with the moon here. And yeah, and it's not about, you know, beating up on yourself over it, pile number one. Like I said, it's just about getting curious, like, why, like getting to the root of it. Why do I feel obsessed about this, right? Why do I feel I have to control this? Why do I feel like there's an element here that I just can't see or I can't know, right? We have purpose. I know what I am here to do. Okay, yeah, and that's, you know, with the Virgo new moon, is helping you to open up to your purpose and to know what you are here to do, by helping you to get curious and understand why you're here. All right. And with the strength card in the moon, it's like that sense of wanting to get control of your lower nature and, you know, stop any thoughts that are intrusive or obsessive in any nature, right? But the best thing we can do, like with Zen Buddhism will tell us, which I talked about in the beginning of the reading, is not to like punish ourselves because we have certain feelings, but instead to observe them and understand why we're having them, okay? We have dreams. Dreams are where our mind translates the divine, third eye chakra. And the stone here is labradorite. So third eye chakra here. And, you know, for moon is also a card of dreaming. So maybe some of you had some interesting dreams recently and you're like, I can't believe I would dream about that person or that situation again. I don't even want to think about that, okay? But Spirit is saying, get curious about why you dreamt about that situation or that person again. Dreams are where your mind translates the divine, third eye chakra, okay? Getting very curious about your dreams or anything within yourself that you're trying to preemptively just shut down, okay? We have Page of Wands, all right? Freeing that creative spirit, freeing your creativity is where it's at, right? And so much creativity in your dreams, in your subconscious, even in your nightmares. I feel like pile number one, so much becomes illuminated. And by just being willing to kind of look at it, not judge it, not try to control it, is helping you to, it's bringing up a feeling of, you know, like youthful abandon, like just go for it here, I feel like. And we have the Four of Swords, and look at her here. She's safely dreaming, and she's safely, her mind is at rest, okay? Her mind is at rest. And I think that's something that this Virgo new moon is trying to help put your mind at ease. Pile number one, help put your mind at ease, and how to help you, like on a daily basis, feel a little bit more free, okay? And help you to sleep at night also is what I feel, okay? And if you have been feeling obsessive about something and it's been hard to fall asleep or maintain a good routine, I finally feel like you're gonna get some good energy here. We have the Hermit, all right, so cool. And you know, this is the Virgo new moon, so you guys did get the Hermit. And you know, she looks like she's contemplating a lot of things at night, or in dream space, she's thinking about a lot. And you know, there's a need to be peaceful. There also may need to be a need for solitude as well. You know, peaceful solitude. I feel like pile number one, okay? And if you're feeling obsessive or controlling about something and you're not sure why, then get curious. Get curious without judging yourself. Like I said, we have Divine Mother, nurturing, compassion, and grace, okay? So the Divine Mother is here and is helping you along your way here. And the Strength card too, to me, the woman in the card, she reminds me of the Divine Mother, right? Because the Divine Mother is very gentle, very gracious, but also very firm in the way that she does things, okay? Gentle, gracious, but firm. Strong back, okay? And we have the Divine Feminine. We have the Divine Mother and the Divine Feminine. So something really wanting to come through for you. Also, when I think of the Strength card, I think of Goddess Durga, for those of you that are love to celebrate Durga. Also, strength is that Leo energy. But the Divine Feminine, something here about, you know, releasing your creative spirit and opening up the Divine Feminine here. Receive your birthright, unconditional love, okay? Pile number one. Ooh, and I drew this card today, this morning, as after I finished cleaning, and it's funny, it's coming up here too. Lemurian Shaman. Okay, so some of you may have a connection to Lemuria, and it says, shadow dissolving in the gaze of truth. Shadow dissolving in the gaze of truth. Going beyond fear. Yeah, going beyond obsessive worrying, needing to control situations, not being able to sleep at night. Yeah, so going beyond fear and initiation. So these are the energies that are opening up for you during this full moon in Virgo. And it's exciting, you know? I mean, I think your mind's gonna be a lot more chill. I feel like pile number one, you know, in Vedic astrology, the moon is the same as the mind. Moon equals mind. And there's a need here to kind of quiet the mind, to shut down the mind, and, you know, and to feel like safe and protected, and to get a really good night of sleep. All right. And if some of you have been waking up in the middle of the night too, to like contemplate life or decisions that you're making, or you've even had a hard time sleeping, I feel like, you know, you're going to be getting some good sleep. And you're going to also too, with this Hermit and Curiosity, I also feel like some alone time, maybe to think about your purpose and why you're here. Definitely something about the divine feminine in your dreams coming through for you on this Virgo new moon. I know I had some very vivid dreams last night, pile number one, and definitely some people from my past came through. So, you know, the moon card is all about that past energy. And, you know, during the daytime, a lot of times we don't want those energies to come up, right? But it's important to get curious about why that is, you know, and then I think it leads to feeling freer. And there's here something here too about the shaman type of energy for you. So, and to me that resonates with the Hermit, okay? That shaman, that inner knowing, that inner glow and inner know. All right, pile number one. So that's what I think this new moon in Virgo is helping you with and supporting with you on releasing any mentally draining obsessiveness about the past, and helping you to release that and get some peace of mind, okay? So thank you so much, pile number one. I hope you enjoyed your new moon in Virgo reading, and I hope to see you again real soon. If you like the video, please give me a like. It does help people find the content. Please subscribe to the channel or leave me a comment. Thank you so much, pile number one. And let's go ahead and move on to pile number two. All right, let's do it. Pile number two, welcome to your reading. You chose the Amethyst. And today's reading is a new moon in Virgo reading called Chop Wood and Carry Water. And in my intro, I go through the astrology of the new moon in Virgo. And in your reading, we're going to look at how this new moon in Virgo is personally assisting you and what energy is it bringing you. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath, pile number two, and drop into the energy. Spirits, angels, and guides, please connect me to the energy of my pile number two, and let's begin. All right, I feel I'm excited, pile number two. Are you excited right now for some reason? I do feel there's some excitement building for you right now. Let's go ahead and see what's going on. We have friendship, or card 22. The energy of friendship supports our intrinsic desire for connection with others, based on mutual affection and appreciation, okay? And maybe there's some cool people coming into your life, romantically, friendship-wise, however you want to experience connection, pile number two. And this is exciting, all right? And 22 is a master number anyway here, so that is very exciting indeed. And I feel you're gonna be meeting people who have similar views or align similarly to you on various subjects, which, you know, a lot of time, I mean, it's good to be challenged, but I also think it's good to align on the basics, because then you can go deeper on those topics and explore. For example, like thinking about somebody like, oh, you know, that doesn't even believe in magic, but you practice magic, or you believe in magic, or you're starting a journey with that. But then you're talking to someone who doesn't even believe in magic. So that can make you feel like, well, you know, this whole conversation, like, first of all, they're not going to want to talk about magic. Second of all, we're going to spend half of our time even arguing if it even exists, you know, which if you're trying to find that sense of mutual affection and appreciation, it's good to have those similarly aligned values. Here's the Eight of Pentacles, and I was talking about the Eight of Pentacles in my reading, or at the beginning when I was talking about the astrology, and I said this is a chop wood, carry water type of a moon and new moon. And we have here the Eight of Pentacles, diligently, what's he doing? Also, I said pounding the stone, which here he's definitely pounding the pentacle or pounding the stone, right? So this is the Sun in Virgo card, and right now the Sun is in Virgo and it's conjunction to the moon as we are in a new moon in Virgo. So yeah, I mean, I think it's like there are energies that would like to connect with you, and there is fun to be had, and there is connection here. I feel like some of you may have been very focused on your work, very diligent on your work, and you may have put friendship on the back burner or connection on the back burner to focus on your spiritual growth or your work or whatever it is that you've been busy doing, which, you know, we need both, right? We need connection and work. You know, a lot of us find connections through work too. We find friends through the work that we do, which is always appreciated too. But if you work by yourself, you know, sometimes that's harder to do. We have the Devil energy. Okay, so I just want to see, what is this Virgo new moon helping us to release here? Okay, so I wanted to see what this Devil energy was about. So we have victim mentality. The universe wants what's best for you, not the worst. Change your perspective, okay? And sometimes it's, you know, sometimes we think like we have to be like overly pious, you know, and we have to make a ton of sacrifices, and, you know, we can't really allow ourselves to have much, because if we do, you know, like we're asking for too much for ourselves, you know, and especially for those of you that resonate with the energy of religion, or you had religion was a big thing for you growing up, or, you know, you were entrapped in situations where you really didn't have access to your full power. You might have been believing other people's belief systems. You might have gotten drug into that or drug along into that. And for some of you, you may just have had some past lives of, you know, like ignoring your own needs and being overly pious, okay? And the Devil shows where we've been too attached to something, too attached to a person, an idea, a mentality, you know. And the Devil's hand, you know, the lines on his hand kind of speak of this whole, you know, the actual lines here you see on his hand represent this idea that we are locked into our fate and we can't change anything, you know. And that could come from past lives of actually experiencing that. And, you know, sometimes with Virgo energy, it can be overly pious, you know, and I resonate with that. Pile number 2, I can really resonate with that. It's like, you know, I need to be, it's almost like when you become like chained to your work or married to your work, or you become, you know, you're living a life that's kind of overly pious, and, you know, and ignoring maybe some of what you actually really need in life, what you really desire or need, okay? And so let's go ahead and see what else. And maybe some of you threw yourself into your work because you didn't want to go, like, you know, the Devil can also talk about addiction. It can talk about where we're being very obsessive, or where we need to control things, or, you know, where things have just gotten to be too much, you know. And sometimes people will become workaholics or things like that in order to, you know, mitigate that energy so they don't fall back into something, you know, negative. Okay. So yeah. And the whole thing here is change your perspective. Some of you guys may be in jobs that you absolutely hate as well, or jobs that just suck the fucking life out of you. And this morning I was listening to a talk by Alan Watts while I was on my walk, and it was called "Don't Work for Money." Easier said than done in the modern day society, you know. And I do feel that some of you guys may feel that you're just kind of like, I mean, at least you have friends at work, or maybe people that you enjoy, but some of you may be in jobs or, you know, situations, relationships or jobs that you just can't stand anymore, or that make you feel very powerless, or make you feel like you can never get out of them, okay? And so this new moon in Virgo is wanting to help you work with that energy, understand that energy. We have regret. I know that I cannot change the past. All right, so some of you guys may have some regrets about some friendships as well in your life. And I also just feel like you're saying, you know, I don't want to waste my time doing things that, you know, don't really resonate with me and don't speak to me and don't align to my values. And if I live my life that way, I will regret my life, okay? And a lot of people have that happen, you know, on their deathbed. They regret that they didn't do what they really loved. They regret that they didn't really tell someone how they felt. They regret that they ignored, you know, certain aspects of their life for a very long time, okay? We have throat chakra, okay? So something coming through with this new moon in Virgo on your throat chakra. Use creativity to transform your pain into positivity. Absolutely, right? There's a beautiful quote that says, you know, the pain passes, but the beauty remains. And, you know, to me that talks, and I think it was a famous painter that made that quote that said, you know, the pain passes, but the beauty remains. And yeah, the pain and the struggle of being alone, or the hard work, or feeling like we have to do something for money. Maybe some of you actually feeling that way too. And talking about using your creativity to transform your pain. All right. Yeah, something about the new moon in Virgo wanting to help you with that. We have the 5 of Swords, and in this deck, you know, he looks like he has had it. He's got a headache. He's sick of people telling him certain things. You know, maybe people are just constantly showing up in your world, telling you what to do, giving you their opinions, asking you to do things for them, you know, in the workplace even too. I need you to do this. I need you to do that, right? And it just, to me, looks like overwhelm. Like, I don't want to hear this anymore. I don't want to feel this anymore. Okay. And yeah, that's where, and we have the 3 of Cups. The 3 of Cups to me is such a card of friendship, right? It's such a card of, you know, being with our people, you know, being with our tribe. And yeah, I do feel like there could be some people where you work, or some people around you that are just in your ear that are not helpful, okay? And that make you just feel like, oh, I can't believe they said that. I can't believe that's how they think about this, right? And when you get into those spaces, you know, reach out for support with the 3 of Cups, all right? Reach out for, and the 3 of Cups is also about creativity. It's a 3, so it's a creation card. It's an Empress card. You know, not every one of us has like a bunch of friends around us that we can totally depend on, but you know, to me, this also talks about getting your creative gifts flowing again, and not listening so much to the opinions of other people who know very little about what it is that you're actually doing. So they can piss off, you know, sorry, pile number 2, but like, you know, dunzo with that energy. All right. We have the 3 of Swords. Okay. And this is this victim mentality, right? And just that the world is painful, and, that you're forced to do something you don't want to do. Like you're being forced to let go of a friendship, or you're being forced to let go of something, or that you're being made to suffer just to exist, right? And that Virgo energy of like, I got to put my nose to the grindstone. Otherwise, like, I'm going to disappoint people, or I'll lose everything that I have, right? And that sense of pain that we feel when we go through those emotions, okay? And the biggest thing here is using creativity to transform your pain, okay? And letting other people see what you've been working on and support you in that is what I feel for you. We have 2 3s here and a 5, 5 3 3, okay? And we have Portal, Infinite Mind, Awakening Consciousness, card number 1. I love that, pile number 2. It's a portal. And I just did a reading on my other channel called What New Portal is Opening for You? And you can check that out on my other channel, Power Moon Tarot. There's a link in my description box below to that channel. And check out what new portal is opening for you, especially if you're feeling really stuck, okay? And, you know, and you're thinking back to those times. I feel like some of you were like, I didn't realize how supported I was where I was at, or where I lived, or where I was at, and now I feel super regretful or heartbroken about something. All right, or someone could feel that way towards you. All right, pile number 2, but there is a portal opening for you, and it has to do with your creativity and your work. I feel like we have fire of transformation, we have radical purification, the violet flame, surrendering, and resurrection. This is like the judgment card, you know, this is like the phoenix, and yeah, rising through the ashes, the fire of transformation, radical purification. All right, radical purification, to think you don't just have to live with something. Pile number 2, to simply exist. Like, you know, we're gonna rise up and push through this, okay? And we have the well of dreams. All right, well, and it's interesting because dreams came up in pile number 1 as well. And this moon is actually opposite Pisces. And so, you know, it's an applying aspect to Neptune and Pisces. So yeah, this moon is, this new moon is opposite to Neptune and Pisces. So a well of dreams, you know, some dreams really opening up here. Creation, visions, messages, dissolve the veil, bliss, and dreams, okay? So some creative energy coming through, some visions. Also, this feels very third eye chakra to me, along with your throat chakra, receiving some upgrades right now, all right? Especially if you've been holding something in and holding yourself back and you haven't been able to express. I feel like some of you just need to talk to some people that you know really have your back and support you, and vent out a little bit. And then after that, this new portal opens up to you. You've got this fire of transformation, and you're drawing on a well of dreams, all right? Receiving some very strong messages in your dreams as well. Pile number 2. And I love that you have the amethyst with this purple well of dreams, because it's very third eye. Amethyst to me is always like aligned with the third eye as well. All right, and I do feel there is some message that you will have to share about overcoming and pushing through. All right, pile number 2, and there is some exciting new energy, especially for those of you that have felt very stuck, very limited, very aggravated by certain situations. There is this number 1 energy portal, infinite mind, awakening consciousness. There is a new portal, all right, opening up for you. So check out my portal reading if you haven't already seen that, pile number 2, to find out what portal that is. And I hope to see you again real soon, pile number 2. Blessings for your full moon, or your new moon in Virgo, and happy Labor Day. Let's go ahead and move into pile number 3. Let's do it for my pile number 3s. Okay. Pile number 3, welcome to your reading. You chose the Sugilite alien head, and today's reading is called New Moon in Virgo, Chop Wood, Carry Water. Or as I mentioned in my intro, pound the stone, all right? And this new moon in Virgo is in a supportive trine with Uranus. This new moon is also in opposition to Neptune in an applying aspect about 7 degrees from Neptune and Pisces, okay? And I talked more about, you know, this full moon and what it means, or full moon, this new moon, and the energy of this Virgo new moon, etc., and what that means, okay? So if you want to listen to my intro, you can. Thank you for being here, pile number 3, and we're gonna look at, for you, what energy is this new moon in Virgo bringing you, okay? So spirits, angels, and guides, our hands are open. We are ready to receive. In pile number 3, please give us the messages that we need for our best and highest today for my wonderful pile number 3s. Let's go ahead and channel into it. I'm getting like the name Chantal, and Chantal it's with a C usually, I think, or an S, Chantal, but I've seen it mostly with a C, so we could have C or S names here. I'm also getting Leo energy showing up here, Pisces showing up here, and Spirit's giving me Marlon Brando, okay? Marlon Brando, which was a famous movie star back in the day, okay? So maybe you have some connection to that, or you know someone with that name, but go ahead and look up that name and see if you can find anything associated, okay? Pile number 3. So let's go ahead and get into your messages. We have number 19 and expression. The frequency of expression supports our ability to bring out our true essence through many different forms of communication, many different ways to express yourself. As Madonna would say, don't go for second best, baby. You've got to put, you know, when he expresses how he feels, and then you know his love is real. All right, well, this isn't a love reading, but you know what I mean. Madonna talking about expression, self-expression, expressing yourself, all right? And not being worried about it in a way, not being worried about it that you're being immature or you're messing it up, right? Just total expression of yourself, something opening up for you here, this new moon. Queen of Swords, I was just gonna say the throat chakra, really. I feel like the throat chakra and the third eye has shown up in all these readings as far as, you know, what this new moon is helping us with, but helping to express yourself, you know, forcefully, with dignity, with knowledge, in a mature fashion, right? And some of you guys may feel like, oh, if I say something, people might read it the wrong way, or they might take it the wrong way. But this new moon is saying, no, go ahead and express it and share it, and your insights are needed at this time. Pile number 3, we have Page of Pentacles. Some of you guys may be at this time teaching others, or you may have students as well, but there are clearly people that need your thought leadership, okay? And I feel like people around you may be wondering, is this the right way to do it? Am I doing this correctly? All right. Maybe this is you as well, pile number 3, wondering, did I do this right? And I feel like here you need somebody's input, or somebody needs your input, depending on what side of the fence you're on here. But about like, is this going the way it should? Is this progressing like the way it should? All right. And people should not be left wondering is also what I'm getting, right? Express yourself and don't leave people hanging or wondering what's going on. All right. We have shame. All right. So, you know, sometimes when you think that you have, so this new moon in Virgo is helping you with shame. And it says, you are not flawed. You are so worthy of love and belonging. Forgive yourself for not giving yourself enough self-love, okay? And some of you guys may feel that, you know, if you ask a question, or you're a beginner at something, or you're not a perfect student, or you don't do something correctly, that, you know, you don't deserve to be loved, you don't deserve to belong. And if you're figuring something out, that if you don't immediately know how to do something or become 100% masterful at it, that you feel very shamed or flawed as a result, you know? And Spirit is saying this may be inhibiting your throat chakra, and it may be limiting your expression. So, you know, there's something here about, you know, this flower, this throat chakra, the flower of expression opening up on your throat. I feel pile number 3. Okay. And, you know, there's no shame in asking a question or being a beginner or not getting something completely perfect. And, you know, you can tell sometimes when you're dealing with a teacher who really gets upset when you don't get something right. Like, that tells me that they themselves have a huge, you know, shame pattern around that. And I think one thing to remember about our teachers is they all have their patterns too. They all have their insecurities as well. And they themselves have probably had to confront their own insecurities. All right. And I also feel like some of you guys may have been through an experience recently where someone maybe called you out, or somebody said, you know, noticed something that you did and was like, that wasn't the right way, or, you know, and just know that don't let this hold you back from expressing yourself, and make sure that, you know, you're loving yourself through this experience of learning and growing. All right. And, you know, some people, they like to take their shame and put it on other people because they don't want to own their own projection, you know, so they will project it on other people. And, you know, that's tough. That's really tough, pile number 3, if you're going through an experience like that. Also, if you're a teacher yourself and you have people listening to you or following you, it's also important that you work with this in yourself too, right? Because, you know, as human beings, we're all flawed. All of us are learning. None of us are perfect, right? But if we hold ourselves back until we learn every possible tiny little thing, then we're not going to be fully self-expressed, okay? Sometimes we just have to go for it and trust that we know enough to kind of get us there, okay? We have relationships. Okay, I am attracted to those people who serve my higher good. All right, so, you know, some of you guys may have had very harsh mothers or very harsh fathers, or, you know, you had a harsh teacher back in the day, or somebody, or even a significant other who was very harsh with you, all right, or very critical or harsh. And Spirit is saying here, you know, this new moon in Virgo is highlighting your relationships and how you feel you can express yourself in your relationships. You know, can you relax? Can you enjoy yourself in your discussions? Or do you feel like you're constantly, you know, in a minefield, like sidestepping everything, right? And it says, I am attracted to those people who serve my higher good. And I feel like this is something that you can say to yourself like a mantra in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. I am attracted to people who serve my higher good, right? You are, pile number 3, believe it, okay? Or you will be, if you feel like this has been a problem in the past, okay? It says this Virgo new moon is helping you with that. So we have throat chakra again in every single one of these piles. I feel like we have gotten some evidence of throat chakra action here, okay? Which, you know, Virgo is a sign that's ruled by Mercury, which has to do with our communication, so it makes sense, right? It says listening. If you want to be heard, learn to listen. All right, so if there are times when you feel like people aren't hearing you, you have an idea or you have an input, but people are instead talking down to you or talking at you instead of really listening, there is something here about, you know, listening isn't a one-way street. We need to see it. Some people just kind of want to give commands or tell people how to do things or have people listen to them talk, all right? But there is something here about listening right now. For you or the people that you're with, there definitely needs to be more listening as well. Listening is a part of communication. We have 7 of Cups here, trying to make a decision about something, having a lot of inputs or opinions from people, and then looking at something and going, okay, I think I want that. I think that's what I want to do, right? And the good thing about Virgo energy is it helps us to, you know, separate the wheat from the chaff. It helps us to, you know, pick things apart and analyze them, which is a useful, you know, trait when we are trying to make decisions and we're trying to figure out like what is, you know, what's a good path for me to take, all right? What's the path of least resistance here too with the Page of Pentacles, all right? And then we have the Ace of Wands. Okay, so, you know, what you desire and what you know and desire and feel passionate towards is where you is the right step or the right move for you, all right? And there is something about your third eye right now. Your third eye, I feel like for those of you that do intuitive work, or part of your job is to be intuitive, or you're a teacher, which, you know, we can teach from a place of and learn as a student also from that place. I feel like your third eye, your throat chakra and third eye, kind of the main themes for this entire reading, is really like learning and growing, and it does feel exciting. You know, even if sometimes it's like, you know, the 7 of Cups can be like, well, I have so many options. I don't know what to pick now. You know, I've got a lot of things I could do here, and I really need to focus and listen, you know, listen to spirit, and listen to my guides about what I should choose to do here. All right, so, but it's also very creative as well. And the Ace of Wands does help with healthy expression. We have the 10 of Wands. Okay, so some of you guys may be deciding that, you know, certain relationships or certain people in your life are very like, they don't listen. They're always trying to put their viewpoints on you. They're negative. You feel like they just confuse you more than they help you. I do feel like some of you guys are deciding, I don't want to learn from this person anymore. Or I don't want to spend time with this friend anymore. Or I don't want to, you know, I don't feel like this person listens to me. I don't feel like they really think about how I'm feeling, okay? And I don't think that they really make any effort to understand where I'm at. I feel like they're just making decrees at me, okay? So some of you guys, there may be people in your life that have some type of an authority role, whether it's a teacher, a medical professional, you know, a relationship, a friendship, whatever it may be. I feel like some of you guys are saying, you know, I've had enough. I've had enough. This has been a learning experience. It's been very eye-opening, but you know, you don't listen to me and you're not really what I need right now. So I'm going to take another path is what I feel like. We have achievement, effort plus intention. Okay, and I feel like this could be the combination of the Page of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords, all right? Because the intention is the Queen of Swords and the effort is the Page of Pentacles, right? And you can see here, like there's this big protective energy behind you. Pile number 3, if you've been feeling like you did something wrong or that you're not successful, or, you know, you are learning a lot right now with this Ace of Wands, and you know, it might get confusing at times because I do feel you're learning a lot of something right now about relationships or actual learning that you're doing here. And achievement is actually both. It's the Queen of Swords and the Page of Pentacles. It's that intention plus effort. And I do think you guys have gotten the picture on that, okay? You've gotten the picture on that. You understand that achievement is actually, you know, intention plus effort, right? And I do feel you're highly protected. It looks like it's a cow or a buffalo behind her, like a really massive buffalo. It looks like actually behind her, protecting her, that has her back, okay? And that energy is with you, so you don't have to worry. And I do think you're going to be successful. And you may have outgrown some situations right now, pile number 3 with this 10 of Wands. You know, the 10 of Wands goes back to the Ace of Wands. So it might be time to start something new and you're like, I don't know what I want to pick. I'm not sure who I want to go with here. I'm not sure who I want to study with or what I want to do, right? And so, you know, you need to kind of listen to your guides, I feel like, with this listening card, all right? And if somebody isn't right for you because they're very shaming and they don't allow people to make mistakes and learn, then that's time to say goodbye. Or if you're that way to yourself, then yeah, Spirit is saying like, we're helping you to get rid of that and know really how much you've achieved, right? A lot of times shame makes us feel like we're never going to get there. You know, we're never going to learn enough. We're never going to know enough. We're always going to be a student. And while that's true, like we always are students, there is something, you know, let's look at the elephant in the room or the buffalo in the room. In this case, like the buffalo in the room is that you have achieved a lot. Okay, pile number 3. So I want you to know that. We have Syrian emissaries. And so some of you guys may connect with Sirius or Syrian star seeds. But the Syrians are with you right now and they're telling you that now is the time for a magical life. Okay. You're starting on a period of your life where now is a time to connect deeply to the magic, okay? And you're working with some very, you know, higher order beings right now, and You are gaining mastery in a particular area of your life, and things are changing and growing. Okay, pile number 3, I want you to know that. And we have crown. All right, baby, the crown chakra. So you have the throat and the crown. So listening, so downloading and listening. It's not just listening with our ears, but listening with our crown chakra, right? It's multiple listenings going on here. And with this crown, it says, right to know, go beyond attachments, and divine alignment. And I think this ending, or you walking away from something, or deciding, you know, that isn't going to be my path, I'm actually going to take a different path, you know, this is divine alignment, and, you know, you're protected. I want you to know, pile number 3, okay? And your discernment, the conclusions that you reach, and the way that you go beyond what's simply presented to you to really, really look into it. These are the traits that, you know, make up a very powerful crown chakra, okay? So understanding more the connection between your throat, your third eye, and your crown is something that's highlighted for this new moon in Virgo, all right? And on this card, it says right to know. So the right to know something. The right to know something about the relationships that you're in, or the way you express yourself. So it's a powerful time for you, pile number 3, okay? Very powerful time for opening up your intuition, opening up your crown chakra, and big achievements coming your way after a significant amount of intention and effort has put in, okay? So yeah, and not listening to the messages that the shame wants to tell us, right? Because that holds back self-expression in the throat chakra, which, you know, dulls down your third eye and your crown. So there is something here about releasing that and seeing it for what it is, you know? It's just an old program, right? Pile number 3. And I'd like to end your reading with this mantra for you. I am attracted to those people who serve my higher good. Okay, so thank you so much, pile number 3. Namaste to you, my friends. Happy Labor Day and happy new moon in Virgo. Blessings on your path, and take care.